look at several different types of jump float serve. And one of the things we're going to emphasize is that there's no exact right or wrong when we're doing jump floats. You're going to see several players who are very successful with their serve, but they have just little individual nuances that are okay because the basics are going to be all the same. So what we're going to focus on in this video is going to be the concepts that will transcend the individual nuances that somebody might have inside of a skill. So we're looking at just a basic jump float here, and we're going to stop the video to a degree and we're going to slow down. And you're going to find with all the servers, the approach replicates a spike approach to some degree, certainly the last two steps. So you're going to see here a three-step approach into the serve. So it's going to be left, right, left, which is the same footwork that this attacker would have if she were actually spiking the ball. You're also going to see, similar to a spike approach, how she's on her left foot, there's a forward lean, her arms are dropped out in front of her body. Now when she's serving, same thing, except now she's holding the ball with both hands out in front of her body, arms comfortably extended. As she goes into her last two steps, you'll see the toss is laid up in front of her attacking shoulder with both hands. She does her step close, similar to leaving the ground for an attack, and then notice how she gets her elbow up and back in preparation for contact. Hips are a little bit open. Nice to be a little bit more open, but this certainly is acceptable. As her arm comes through, she gets that high elbow, which we see with so many good attackers and servers. I'm going to expand this picture here a little bit so we can emphasize that. Notice how her elbow is up to the ceiling in preparation for contact. Then her hand comes through, nice extension in front of her hitting shoulder, and she drives her hand straight through the ball. So we use the term palm to target. So her palm goes straight through where she wants the ball to finish, lands in on the court on 2 feet. Okay, so this is a pretty good example of just laying out concepts of the serve. Different server, and we'll see a similar approach. Now she has one more step. It's going to be right, left, which is the same as the spike approach. Notice how the ball's out in front of her, arms comfortably extended as she lays the ball out in front of her attacking shoulder. Step close, so her left foot's in front. Elbow and hand are back quickly, so her elbow and hand are back and up before the feet leave the ground. Again, notice the elbow rotation. We can emphasize this, how that elbow is pointed up to the ceiling, and I'll expand this a little bit. And as she comes through, good extension in front of the hitting shoulder. With this server, a little bit different style, three-step approach. Hand starts up, and she'll toss with the ball in one hand. And again, there's no exact right or wrong, as long as the concepts are the same. So it's a three-step spike approach. Hand starts up, ball's laid in front of the hitting shoulder. Nice high elbow. Again, notice that 90-degree elbow position. Hands thrown up to the ball in front of the hitting shoulder. So if we drew a line straight down here, it'd be right down, hitting shoulder through the middle of her body. And then it's going to be, as with all the servers, drive the hand through the ball, palm to target. Different server, same concepts. It's going to be a three-step spike approach. Elbow and hand start up early. One hand toss, but notice how her footwork, this is going to be the same as she would be if she were attacking the ball. This is good position with her left hand up, right elbow back, rotates that nice high elbow position, full extension, and drives her hand straight through the ball and lands in on the court. Three-step approach, two-hand toss this time, hands up early, elbows back, and I can't emphasize enough how the players need to get this concept of, notice how her elbow is back, but then she rotates it up and gets in that position. Okay, and then she'll just throw her hand up to the ball. Nice extension in front of her hitting shoulder. So you see, once their hand contacts the ball, there's very little rotation where her hand comes across the body or pronates away from the body. She drives her hand straight through the ball, palm to target. So again, we'll see here a little variation where there's not an approach per se. This server goes for a deep float serve where she's well off the end line, but her feet are the same. She leaves the ground as if she were attacking. Her elbows back nice and early, and she's going for a little bit higher, deeper float serve, giving the ball a chance to move in a floating fashion. But the mechanics are the same. Ball's tossed in front of the hitting shoulder. She gets that nice high elbow position, drives her hand through the ball. So to review, we want the footwork for our jump floater to somewhat replicate attack footwork, especially the last two steps where it's going to be a right-left sequence. Make sure the toss is out in front of the body and the attacking shoulder. Want to make sure we get our elbow up and back, and then rotate the elbow up to the ceiling, and then we want to throw our hand up to the ball so the contact's at full extension in front of the hitting shoulder, and then drive the hand through the ball, palm to target, and then make sure you land inside the court.